There are lots of videos around YouTube about how to find your art style, and in past years, I remember wondering why that was even a goal for so many people, and why anyone would want to settle with drawing in one single way. It seemed to me that drawing in only one style would make you unable to draw in any other way, and as a result, make you a worse artist. I don't think I was exactly wrong to think this, but there's a lot more to it, and I wasn't really aware of all the benefits having an art style can have. I'll go over the positives and downsides of having one or multiple art styles, and what's best suited for you, based on what goals you have. Starting with the benefits of having one art style, there's first the fact that having a style means you practice that style a lot, and get really good at creating things in that certain way. If you constantly jump around from one style to another, it gets more difficult to really refine one. That's not to say that if you do have an art style, that you should never make changes or adjustments to it. Everyone's style changes over time, and they probably wouldn't improve if it didn't. With one style, you can focus on learning to draw and paint a greater assortment of things with the same cohesive look. For example, branching out to environments, creatures, and more complex scenes, rather than something like drawing in different styles, but never branching out to anything but faces. If you look at the artists you follow on social media, you'll probably see that the most popular ones have a very unique and distinct art style that they don't really ever stray from, at least in the work they decide to share. If one of your goals is to grow an audience on social media, then one style will really benefit you. Your work being recognizable as yours will make you more recognizable. And often, the main reason someone follows an artist on social media is because of their style, not just because the art is nice. They're going to want to see more of that style, and might get confused about who you are if you aren't consistent with the kind of work you share. Related to this, if you want to sell commissions or have a full career as a freelance illustrator, people want to know what to expect from you. They will commission you because of your style, and if you don't have one distinct look to your work, they're likely going to be a bit unsure of what to expect from you. Now, here are some benefits to having multiple styles. One thing I like about it is that it doesn't really get old. Personally, well, I'd say I do have a main style I work with. If I forced myself to stick only to that, it would get dull quick. I like to share mostly this type of rendered illustrations on Instagram, but for other things, like YouTube thumbnails and branding, I like to go very cartoony and use cell shading. Not everyone is the same, and some people are perfectly content without ever switching it up. This is really up to your own preference. While it's good to have one style if you're aiming for a career in illustration, finding opportunity in concept art or visual development is pretty much the opposite. This is the designing of things for films, TV shows, video games, and stuff of that sort. Assuming you're going to be hired by a company or joining a team, these people will want to see that you can match the style of the project you will be working on. The portfolio you apply with needs to cater towards the company, team, or project, and you'll probably need multiple portfolios to showcase different styles for different applications. This can also apply to working as an animator on projects, because even though the characters and everything would already be designed, they would still want you to be able to replicate it without too much difficulty. If you aren't comfortable with quickly adapting to the look of different projects, you probably aren't going to have a very easy time finding this type of work, unless you get really lucky and happen to get hired on a project that happens to fit your one good style. It's much easier to adapt when you already jump around a lot. Additionally, while having many different art styles makes it difficult to really develop one, you can still learn something from one and naturally apply it to another. For example, doing cartoon art gets me thinking more about good, energetic line work. What I learn from this is automatically applied to other types of art I do. Only practicing one style might worsen your ability to do others, but bouncing between several can help you keep at least somewhat in touch with all of them. And you can improve one style by working in a different one, even if just a tiny bit. Maybe you're completely sold on the comfort of having one art niche, or really prefer the fun of trying lots of different ones. For me, simply choosing one or the other doesn't seem possible, since there are good benefits to both, and sacrifices as well. Really, picking one or the other entirely isn't a great idea at all, if you want to improve or have success. Balance is really important. Don't end up so far in your style comfort zone that you can only draw the same face at the same angle over and over again. And don't dabble so much that you never get very far with anything you try. I'd say for the most benefits, have one main style that you're working for a majority of the time, and sometimes branch away from it and use one or more other styles. I guess if improvement or success doesn't matter to you at all, then this isn't something you should really worry too much about. Just do whatever you enjoy most, even if that's drawing the same face at the same angle over and over again. I'll just judge you silently. A good place to experiment and develop a style, or branch out and try new ones, is in a sketchbook, where the stakes are low and you won't be worried about making a finished piece out of everything. If you'd like some insight into developing a style, this video on screen should help. Thanks for watching!